Okay. Okay, Twitch start. Boom. There we go. Welcome, my friends. Hey, Claude, can you fire a bunch of events, a lot of events, like all the possible events that could happen on my stream? Can you fire them so that we can see how they work, and do they work or do they not work? And fire them in like, 3 minutes total for all of them. For all of them. So that I can see everything we have been creating and stuff. All the alerts, all the chat messages possible, all kinds of stuff like that. Welcome, Tuna. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I know for a fact I have a music box. But this music box is weird. Do you hear it? Whoa. Whoa. It's probably too loud for in the case if I'm like this, right? It's definitely too loud. By the way, why doesn't Music Box have any settings for the range and stuff? For like how far it is and what is the loudness, the range slider or something, depending on the distance. Oh, by the way, it doesn't look like a music box. It's all good. Maybe you can add some kind of notes coming from it so that at least people think it's a music box, At least it a little bit looks like a music box, because otherwise I'm gonna have to turn it off because it doesn't work. Actually, for now, I'm gonna turn it off. Hello, my friends. Hello, Chili's. Hello, Stefustremus. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Claude, as per usual, YouTube chat isn't working, so you gotta fix that as well. And one thing I can check is what happens with the hair on this Tiamat when I farm, because the idea is that a little bit of grass is gonna grow on this Tiamat's head when I start farming, okay? So let's see if that actually works. Let me just buy a Tiamat appropriately. Let me TP over here. Nope, I didn't buy Tiamat. Well, let's just get the Hydra, right? Let's just get that Hydra. Let's restart the game so it's a little bit faster. Fast forward. Let's say go mid.
Fresh Subber says, loving the stream, Yorick OTP forever.
Okay. Those are the tests, by the way. Those are the tests. The Fresh Subber is a fake one. Ooh, it doesn't work. It's not jumping right. That's a really tough thing to dial in. These ghouls jumping to this. It's a really tough thing to dial in. Okay. I need a better way to actually.
Bitsbro says, take this poke Rick.
Okay. At 10 CS, I should see something.
Coffee fan says, a coffee for Claude.
Okay. Is it bigger or not? Doesn't seem that much bigger though.
YT Man says, super chat from the YT side.
It really doesn't seem that much bigger though. It should have been pretty big, man. By the way, a bunch of fake messages in the chat while I do my testing. Don't you worry, my friends. They are gonna end. Okay. Yeah, it's not working. It is definitely not working.
Big Bitsy
here.
says, 1,000 bits for the king.
Well, let's not be cringe, Claude, with those messages, right? Let's not be cringe over there. Where is the... Okay, Claude's restarting the app. Finally, I have the image. So that while he's restarting the app, we don't have to worry. We don't have to mad. And we know that it's going to be okay soon. Oh yeah, the front flip does work. Try it again. Oh no, those are the test messages still. Okay. So the hair is growing. Is it really though?
Final Boss says, absolute legend tier 3 sub Final Boss.
Okay. Let me just tell him one last time so he could stop the messages. Okay, you can stop with the test messages. It's okay. I think I'm ready. Welcome, 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 my friends, to the stream. Welcome, welcome, everybody. And let's see if the growth actually does work. Well, if I go outside of a game, it should go to 0. So it shouldn't grow now. You know? It shouldn't grow there. Okay, I need to tell him that. I just left the game, but my hair is still grown a bit. Like based on the CS. I thought that when I leave a game, it is going to be the lowest point for the hair growth. Like 0. That is a healthy hairline indeed. That's a really healthy hairline. Agreed. But that Claude is there working a bit. Working a bit. I turned him into a robot sort of a situation. Do you have a square head IRL? No, not really. IRL, I have the, you know, you all know my face, my real face. You all know what that looks like. Okay, so are you ready for some farming / coding? Today I have only 2 goals. To deal with this hair so that it grows correctly, and to deal with the music box. And, you know, the music box might be a little bit too out of the scope for this stream. But who knows, maybe. And also, of course, to farm. I cannot go below 10 CS per minute in any of the games. So I'm pulling out the big guns, which is the Titanic Hydra. Since this is a farming stream, right? Okay. Since this is a farming stream. My sub goal has grown dramatically, so thanks a lot for that. Thanks a lot for that. I didn't even notice it's 48 out of 100. Once I get 100, I think I go to 60-40 split instead of 50-50, and that's a big deal. That's a big deal on Twitch. You know, that's 10%. So thanks, my friends. Thanks a lot for doing the... Oh, Claude is actually going into the into the view there. I can't have him sweeping up the floors while I'm in game. Okay. Let me just restart the native app real quick. He could actually be doing that while I'm in game, which is not great. It is what it is. Yeah, welcome Stefan. Welcome Desquilzato. No, Desquiciao. Stefan Bigza. And of course on Twitch.
Stefan Bigza.
And of course on Twitch. And yeah, welcome Brax. Welcome Tuna. Welcome Chili Smape. Chili Smape. Chili Smape, yeah. Hello, call me BLOF. When games start, Claude position 000. Yeah, but unfortunately 000 is actually even more centered because for me 000 is to the left of the Tiamat cube. Ooh, I am going to be playing a little bit of that support Yorick. But let's say top mid OTP. Can anybody swap? Well, that's what happens. That's what happens, man. Riot did this. Yorick smashed supportively, that's right. I don't know, but Yorick support isn't good stuff. I used to be Yorick one trick, I know. Yeah, but I need top then, guys, please. Give me that top lane. Give me that top lane, please. Okay. Because, you know, the stream name is farming, right? So I will have the farm as support, won't I? And pretty sure we're gonna lose the game because of that, but you know, anyway. Hello, Iran. Here I live and I'm at work. What's up? Yeah, I was reading it in my mind and then speaking the rest of the sentence. It's 2:20 a.m. here where I live, and I'm at work now. What's up? Where are you working? Are you a security guard? Hello, Amy? Unfortunately, I'm gonna get assigned support probably anyway, so. Oh, what? How does that work? Yeah, hello, Amy. Hello. Hello and good morning from Czechia. Is that how you pronounce it? Because in Latvian you say Czechia with an H, Czechia. But I have no idea how you pronounce it. I have a friend from Czechia and he's a little bit of an ass. But that's in no way a reflection on the country. Because if it was, then I would be an ass myself, right? So, and we do not want to be asses. We do not want to be asses. Hello, Bobbin Goes. Checks their asses. Well, you said it, so. You said it. Ba-da-ba-da. I think this is fine. These runes. Maybe move speed? Just because of the farm? Chech? Do you say Chech? Is that right? By the way, you can try the cubes.rito.lol. It almost certainly will not work correctly, but you can move around with WASD, and you can, you will be in this scene, right? Somewhere here. But if that happens, please do not mess with anything too much, because I'm pretty sure you can hack your size if you want, if you really want, blocking the whole screen. So I'm giving you the trust. I'm trusting you, okay? I'm a receptionist at a hotel. Oh, bread. Check like in a word. Chleba. Bread? Czech. So H? Like with an H? Czech? Czech? Basically sleeping, so I'm kind of free. I live in Brazil. I mean, wow, okay. Interesting. Would be really cool to see what that actually looks like, because it's really interesting that you are, you know, watching a stream. Czech. I immediately found the hack on accident. Where are you? Where'd you go? You should be somewhere here if you did find it. I don't know. Did you fall down? You should be here somewhere if it works. Oh, you didn't enter. Okay. Oh, these runes I think are not the best ones, but okay, fine. Whatever. I'll change them next time. Oh, here you are. Here you are. It's a little bit laggy, but please don't go in front of the screen, because I'm not going to be able to fix it during the game. And I have almost used my all rate limit on Claude now, so I won't be able to change it. You can try to move about, you know, somewhere on the bottom there, somewhere at the sub goal. Maybe you can change your size so you are very, very small, and then you can mess around there if you want. But other than that, you know, please don't make it. Please don't make it difficult. I'm giving you a lot of power to wield, okay? I'm giving you a lot of power to wield. Whoops, smacked her. That's a good smack. Okay, it's a good smack. And obviously, it's sort of like, what's interesting about that web game is that there's a lot that's interesting about it, but one of the things that's most interesting is that it sort of recreates the scene in its own view. So it draws the screen, and it's an approximation. I don't know how precise it is. It definitely shouldn't really be precise. If it is, it's a huge, you know, huge achievement. Now, let's jump into the match. Now, Aurora, of course, as usual, is pretty insane. I've heard people whine that she's just gonna smack you, and she's gonna do it. She's gonna do it. But luckily for me, I'm a farmer, not a UFC fighter. By the way, UFC, man, it's obviously it's a rough sport, but I recently sort of discovered that they have rules. They have a lot of rules there, what you cannot do. And in my mind, no matter how rough it is, if you introduce rules, it's kind of like, it's not the street anymore, you know? It's not the street anymore. She does poke indeed, yeah. The most top laner ever. Kind of cool to catch you live. Look for Altar Du... What? Chow when you can. It's part of city I live in. It's our famous beach. Oh, but... you mean like if I was looking on the Google, like Street View or something? But it's pretty cool that you're in the middle of Amazon. Isn't it? Is this a Nuts on Chin stream? I would say yeah. Careful. Don't do that. Whoops. I don't like anything about this champion. Not how she walks, not how she looks. I don't like that they are making... She's apparently autistic and they're making it into a cool thing. Which is fine, I guess. But she is the most annoying type of that you could possibly imagine. It's that girl at the party who doesn't have anything really, you know, serious happening, and she's making it about that. You know, she's exactly that. So you can understand my frustration, right? But it's all good. This cube thing is hilarious. Are you moving around the scene or what's going on? If anybody has played World of Warcraft, I was trying to make the WASD controls to be World of Warcraft type. And if it is, like, you know, if there's anything that's not like World of Warcraft, please tell in the chat, because I was trying to make it so that when you do the right mouse button, when you do the right mouse button, it kind of looks around and orients your character to the... Whoop, that's not good, but I have TP, so it's all good. I jumped in front of the minimap a little bit ago. Very nice, very nice. Well, I do appreciate that you do not mess with it too much. I do appreciate. Did you press H and that's how you started to control your size? Because that was supposed to be a secret. Okay. Oh, just entering your name. Of course it doesn't work and it pops up the settings while you're entering your name. Of course. Why wouldn't it, right? Why wouldn't it? But yeah, you can jump in front of the minimap if you want. You can maybe even block the minimap if you want, because for me personally, it's not blocked. It's only blocked for the viewers. So you could actually help me not get stream sniped in a sense, right? I know that Maokai is huge in his own words. Whoop. Yeah. Poke. There we go. Stopped for a second, poked her. What is she doing? Come on, guys. Let's make her pay for this. Cannot really do that if she's being this difficult about it. Okay. Okay. Had to do it, I'm sorry. Hey, Maokai, please don't do that. So you can pick all kinds of items, right? You can pick, for example, a pickaxe, can't you? Does it work if you pick a pickaxe? Does it translate to the native app? When I use the word native, I know it doesn't make any sense to you, but that's what the tool is that I've called, that I use for streaming. It's just called native, Pokric something. So when I say that, then just know I'm talking about my scene, because the cube scene that you are using in the web is a different scene. It's a totally different environment. It's just that it's sending the position data and scale data, and it's trying to match it with my scene, so that there would be like this, synchronization. Whoops. Well, why wouldn't he go to the jungler and deal with the grubs? Why wouldn't he do that? Why wouldn't he just, if he can, go and kill the poor Yorick player who's just trying to farm, right? Why would he do the correct call when he can just mess with Yorick, right? Okay. I don't see the bandle pipes. Where are you? Oh, there you are. You disconnected. There you are. Bandle pipes. Okay. I gave myself the WASD controls over that, over the whole scene. There's something off about orientation. Something's going on there. You can probably leave it be, because it's going to be very hard to tell what it is. Usually Claude understands stuff like that better than I can even explain it. I usually say there's something off about the cube's rotation, and he checks it, and then it's fine. In a sense, I could explain to him like, hey man, this and this happened. It seems like this happens, but it's usually so difficult for me, especially with the language barrier, that it's better to say, hey Claude, it's bad. Not always. Obviously it does help if you know what's going on. But remember, I do have the ability to turn those cubes off if you start jumping in front of the screen too much. And yeah, yesterday I had these problems with the server, and man, it's insane what happened. And this is true. I logged into this thing that they gave me. They said, hey man, you can change the DNS of the website here. I went in, there weren't any buttons there for me to click. And usually when you create subdomains like the cubes.reto.lol, you have to add those NS texts, NS records. If I'm not going to go too much into detail about that, but you have to add some records for them to work. And usually you can't do that. You have to ask the server guys to do it. And they said that I can do it. I went into the site. The UI was so effed up that just by me going into the site, it completely cleared all of the records, which meant that including Bondle, all sites were down for like 20 hours yesterday. And they didn't understand what was going on, so it was kind of sad. The guys, I love the service that they provide. They have provided it very well up until this point, but this really got into my the trust is effed. What you doing, boy? This is my bad. Respect. Actual respect for saying that. Actual respect. You know what? I saw Viego just respawn, so I'm just going to TP on this red buff and give him some probs. If she doesn't interrupt me. Which she doesn't. Let's see if I can do that even. There we go. Thank you very much. Whoops. Oh, Lord. How do I escape this? That's pretty funny. Do they have flashes? They probably do. Why is he so fast? It was so beautiful when he jumped there, but he's just so fast that it didn't matter. These nuts on my chin. Oh, and one more thing. These are trees. Every time somebody donates $1 in coffee, a new tree is planted. Just because of AI. Of the problems that AI does. That's the field of trees. Okay. I actually liked TPing to mess with Viego there because he was probably pretty shocked that that happened. He's AFK, he won't mind. Who won't mind? Did Viego go AFK because of my genius TP? I'm sorry guys, sometimes you gotta do that to bring home the bread. I didn't mean to fight him. I actually wanted to farm his red buff. That's it. And he just went AFK. I think I'm moving too fast for it to pick me up on the screen. So you changed your speed or something? Hey, that should have hit. By the way, the hair is not growing, so... By the way, Claude, the hair is not growing depending on my CS. What the F, bro? I thought that you fixed it. We are gonna get that whip out. We're gonna get that whip out soon. Cube size and speed are the hacks. So who went AFK? Was that really Viego? That's funny. That invade TP, yeah. That invade TP is definitely funny. Oh yeah! Huh. Okay. Well, there's bandle pipes. There are those bandle pipes sitting there. No light is affecting the bandle pipes. It's not. Also, you can't. Oh, there's Ambessa as well. Is that me? Because I know that I opened this as well. The thing. I opened the thing too. That's pretty fast. Well, obviously that's going to be changed. I had this idea which I thought was neat, to give each of these cubes abilities based on the champion, but just kind of like in a meme way. For example, bandle pipes would just, I don't know, play music and push you away that way. Ambessa would have like very annoying dashes all the time, but she wouldn't do any damage, so it wouldn't matter. You know, stuff like that. Do the pentagram again. It's for 6 seconds, yeah. It looks pretty horrible right now, but let's leave it for now. Let's leave it for now. The robot is slacking because it should have been not 3 at the same time. It should have been like once every 15 seconds. Okay, he's relaunching it soon. Anybody else doing any vibe coding or farm coding as a job? I find it that, in my opinion, that's the main thing that people have to learn how to do, but nobody's really doing it because it's frowned upon or something. Maybe I feel like a lot of professionals are just silently doing it and making money, while the quote-unquote regular people are just thinking that it's a bad thing to do. Not yet, still a student. There's something that moves through your scene occasionally. I thought it was someone else's cube, but I think it's something else. Do you mean this? It's the Claude robot. Roomba. Yeah. Me and my friend are learning how to best use tools for game. It's a lot of fun to learn. Yeah. He's just working silently. It doesn't make too much sense that he's like sweeping up the floor, but you know, it happened during the game. I thought it was someone else in cubes. Who's this Ambessa? Is that me, really? It's not me. There's no way that's me.
Smash.
Love the coffee message label. Yeah. Because that's what you're doing. What you're doing, you know. You're paying for AI. I'm gonna be paying for it anyway, but in a sense, if you do that, then, you know. I was as in Italy, but I closed that instance. These types of things need to be dealt with all kinds of game development because, you know, she just gets stuck here and I have no idea why. Fortunately, I can just say, Claude, get on that. Not now, because I still have to wait for the rate limit. I'm gonna have to buy the $200 one, I feel like. I'm gonna have to do that. Because I did some coding before the stream and it already kind of limited me. It was close to the end and I thought, nah, it's gonna be fine. Boom. 2 hours. 2 hours. What's the most annoying champ to play against as Yorick in your experience? Says Ioran Silva. The most annoying champ... Actually, I think I need to do this, though. I think I need to do this. Yes, there we go. I think the most might be Irelia, or... Actually, the last one, Aurora. Didn't like that at all. Perfect Warrior, do you have the extension plugins that kind of help with Claude, like Claude Memory, I think it was the name. Claude Memory is a part of default Claude now. It's not even an extension anymore. So yes, I have. He occasionally, when I will tell him stuff like, hey man, don't be a monkey, he will save a memory, don't be a monkey. You know, but he's sort of kind of doing his best to know when to do that. And I do... can I mid top, please? OTP. So yeah, he's going to save it as a memory and he's going to do his best. And I used to just tell him straight up, hey man, do this. But then I think it was worse. Well, I have no choice because you can't dodge an autofill anymore. How does lighting affect your game screen in scene? It does not, because I specifically told them to render. It's the same as with the bandle pipes, but in the case of the bandle pipes, it's bad because it should affect it. But it's literally like in game development and CG, it's usually called emissive texture. It means that it's the same exact color always. So in Unreal Engine, it's probably just called emissive, yeah. But maybe it's unlit. For example, in Unity, you call that unlit texture. So it means that it is exactly, exactly these pixels that you see over here are going to be exactly the same no matter what light is. It's always going to be this shade of violet. Okay. Let's hope that the hair works. I picked Zillion for nothing, he says. Yeah, that's unlucky. It is. I'm playing my custom textures for screen instant input, but I haven't messed with the textures, materials, or any of that. This is new territory. Yeah. Do you ever ask Claude how to do something when you don't know? Or do you just ask him to actually do it? We got that Grandmaster Pugmo. We got that Grandmaster Pugmo. Every time I see it, I think, wow, that's like an 800 or 1000 LP difference, isn't it? Top or mid, though, if top Yone and Kale can be annoying. Well, it's not as bad as, whoops. What's going on here? Zillion's moving around. Oh, you have 2 textures for some reason now. Yeah, it's pretty buggy. I'm going to report all of this to Claude afterwards. I usually do this thing where after the stream, I will ask Claude to go over all the transcript and then I will remember what we talked about, I always say to it at the end of the prompt that do not reinvent the wheel. That's an interesting thing, yeah. But in my experience, he never. I usually want no. It's more the case where when I want him to reinvent the wheel, because he's always going to be looking for libraries and stuff. And then sometimes, not always, sometimes I think, I don't want him to do libraries. I want him to do a straight up custom solution. What's the other word for custom solution? There was this weird word that he taught me, but I already forgot about it. That's because I have two instances open. Interesting. So it locks you on the IP or something. Interesting. Hello, Mr. Rick. I used to watch you a lot. Recently gotten back into pokerking. Do you have updated build? Yes, you do Leandri's Torment. This match, I might not get it first. I might get Hydra first. But I might also get Leandri's Torment. Because it says that it is a anti-tank item. But let me tell you, this Dark Heavens is not going to take the heat lightly. Okay. Let's jump into the match against the Cannon, the Rat, right? The Rat. Is he a rat? Or is he... what is he as an animal? What is that? It's a rodent, some kind of... Oh, no, he's the Yordle, so he's not a rat at all. For some reason, I think he's a rat because he doesn't have the Pikachu skin, but... What am I thinking of here? What am I? Guinea pig. Is he really? Why don't we have rats as champions? Oh, we have Twitch. Rats are pretty cool. I don't know. I know they are known as being like these pests, inflicting cortisol on people. But we have some rats in the center of Riga, but they live... Interestingly enough, they live in the holes where flowers grow, under the flowers, and it's like this huge, beautiful garden. It's not garbage at all. But whoops, please, oh God, messed it up. It's not garbage at all, but they live somewhere where the roots of the flowers are. So it was kind of interesting seeing that. The bigger problem in our city of Riga is the crows, because they be eaten. So there's this McDonald's at the center, and very often, especially on Friday nights, people will just be living fast on that fast food during the night. And during the night, the crows are apparently sleeping or something, so I haven't seen them mess with the trash at all. But man, in the mornings, they will just rip apart those trash cans. And trash is going to be everywhere. They don't give a F. And they're going to be eating those crumbs. They're going to be probably feasting upon those, those pies that in Latvia we have quite popular to have pies in McDonald's. Whoops. What the F is this damage? I do not appreciate that at all. I do not appreciate that at all. Oh, that's a very nice hair, by the way. It's working finally. It's working. Okay, so here's the problem. It's taking... It has a range of a maximum value at 10 CS per minute. And it's obvious that now, even though I'm in the beginning of the match, it's close to 10 CS per minute, but let's say it's something like 7. And he's growing at 70%, even though the farming has just begun. So, experientially, for you as a viewer, it probably doesn't feel right that it's so high now. It should be this high way later. Way later in game. Maybe it shouldn't be about per minute. It should be like... Maybe it should be gold per minute or something. There he is. I had to flash, man. Had to flash. Annoying cannon. No, I'm gonna win. You'll see. I'm winning over here. There's no doubt about that. I'm farming and winning. Whoopsie daisies. I can be annoying too, mister. I can be annoying too. Okay. It is estimated on your trajectory to 10 CS per minute. Supposed to just report current. It's reporting the current. It's reading it from the live API, which comes in chunks of 10. That's why it grows only when, or it grows or recedes when I have like in chunks of 10. Okay. Interestingly, he's gonna let me recall, I think. Give it a few metrics to work off. Average game length. Maybe you should just be instant. When you reach 10, it just boom, it appears. This guy, gotta punish you, bro. Yeah, he's gonna save. Okay. It's unlucky a bit. I have to leave because Jax is coming. Jax is a coming. Is he coming through here? Oh, whoa, whoa. That's that party in that mid lane that we don't like. That's that party in that mid lane that we don't like. Do I freeze this? Yes. Okay. Careful, Mr. Cannon. Yeah, those crows are a bit like seagulls. Yeah, I do agree. On the opposite window, no. Well, through my window, I can see some seagulls, right? And they very often nest on top of those roofs. And unfortunately, the roof is tilted. And for some reason, they are building a nest on the inclined roof. You know, the roof has lost. It's on a losing stream in League of Legends streak. That's why it's tilted. So they have created some nests which are kind of sliding down all the time, and okay. And the nest, like the pieces of the nest, are sliding down. And the poor seagull is just trying to do the nesting, just trying to lay the egg. And it's just sad to see. And even though seagulls are really annoying in real life, but when you see them nesting, it's kind of cute. You root for them. And here I was rooting for him or her, and it just didn't work out, unfortunately. There was this meme about pigeons not being able to build nests, but seagulls don't be building nests as well. Saving a little bit of mana. Somehow I was able to avoid a lot of ganks. Like 3 ganks from Silas, 1 gank from Karma, and 1 gank from Jax. Oh, he's paying it back. He's paying it back, boys. He's paying it back, Mr. Cannon. Seagull skipped geometry class. Indeed. Oh, I don't even have enough. Why did I think I do? I know why, because I bought the other item. 259 is not that little, actually. Huh. I almost always skip the Fated Ashes because I believe the other one to be better, but maybe the Fated Ashes aren't that bad. The Fated Ashes aren't that bad. My mother said that she wants to be turned into ashes once it's over. Once it's GG. And I thought, well, okay. Silas is jungling with the wife, by the way, which is kind of OP, isn't it? I don't think anybody can win against him. If he's in lane with the wife, then it's funny. But he's jungling with her, I think it's a huge hit. Let's see if I can ward something. There we go. Yeah, this is the first time I see that. Usually they don't care about Maiden. Very interesting, yeah. What's your top 3 favorite Yorick skins? Well, the first skin would be... the regular one. Then I would say the Undertaker. And then maybe the Janitor. Which hasn't been released yet, but I'm kind of putting it out there. Sometimes there are things that you have to believe. You have to believe in them first, and only then they appear, you know? My bad. Where's Silas? I'm a bit afraid of him. Did they fix the bug with Silas and Maiden? What do you mean, what bug? Okay. Karma. MB. Janitor Yorick is a tulpa. What is a tulpa? Unfortunately, the Fated Ashes talk reminded me of what happened in my grandmother's funeral. Let's just say the casket was larger than usual, as it sometimes happens in the Eastern Europe. And the gravedigger, who wasn't Yorick, but he was paid extra to dig a deeper grave. No, wider grave. And he slacked off, and he didn't dig it correctly. Whoops. Oh. The fight is still going on. Okay. I could have allowed him to do that, but Maiden didn't want me to. And at exactly the right time when it was supposed to happen, the casket was lowered into the grave, and it stuck. And although that was an incredibly grim situation, right? It's a funeral, but I'm 100% certain my grandmother would have laughed, because she had that type of sense of... Well, she didn't have that type of sense of humor, but I think she would have laughed when that happened. She would have definitely grinned about it, but maybe she wouldn't have laughed because it wasn't... In the Soviet Union, you wouldn't laugh about stuff like that. But that was just... I couldn't. I saw that and I thought, man, what the F... How is it possible that the casket doesn't fit? You know? There's a long conversation. Basically, the spirit entity never existed, but was only created through the belief. That's... I get what you mean. I get what you mean. In The Office, there was this scene where Nellie said that she can be manager only if you all believe that she's the manager. And that's what I was going off of. Whoops, I could have done that. Okay. Jax really doesn't like AP. because he has no way of countering that play. He just loses health, and there's nothing really he can do. He can maybe try to attack Maiden, but if he tries to attack Maiden, he's dead now. So AP Yorick weirdly counters Jax completely if you haven't inted before that happens. You know? If you haven't inted before that happens. And Jax has brought Trinity Force, which is a wasted 3,300 gold. In my opinion, of course. And an actual fact, because my opinion is actual fact, as we all know. Whenever I give you my political opinions or philosophical opinions, it's hard to argue with them because they're just too smart. It's just really hard to argue with them. So he's supposed to have sort of countered me now. The only problem is if Kennen shows up. Yeah. I haven't died once to this Silas, and he really wants it. Cloud Control, a bot that plays Doom up in the corner that performs as well as Poker Farms. It's a funny idea, but I don't get how would he perform? You know, it seems like a little bit too crazy. You know, wiring up his Doom playing seems just a little bit too crazy. I almost never get this, by the way. Maybe I should start getting it. Kog'Maw wants to come here. I can give him the... But I'll take the farm, unfortunately. I can't allow you to rabble-rouse my lane like that, my friend. And he understands it. He's a grandmaster. He knows farm. He should know farm. Okay. I think Silas is somewhere here near. No. I'm an ideas guy. We have rats being taught to play when at Doom. Yeah, I understand that you're an ideas guy, but that's why I'm asking it not because it's a bad suggestion. I'm asking because I want to know more. I want to see. So how would that look like? Because sometimes the dumbest ideas that sound impossible, they end up being implemented and working kind of better than ideas that sound good in the beginning. What you doing, Francisco? Okay. Yeah, Titanic is too important, you're right. It's just that it gives you so much stuff. And what's funny, once you get that Titanic, usually, okay, nobody's visible on the map. I'm definitely dying soon. There's like this very nice... Once you get Titanic, you have this very cool way of farming, which just works better than any other wave clear. There's no contest, especially exactly. If I hit that E, well, there we go. She was looking for that flash, I think. What you doing, bro? Oops. Oh, he did it to himself. That's a surprise. I know it's a kind of a known mechanic, but I was really surprised that he did that. I think he attacked me just because he wanted to do it. You know? I think he just wanted to do it. Okay. They are immediately pulled back just because of the farm. And you farm so fast you have time to do this. And that's a really important ward spot. I don't do it often enough. Oh no. Too bad Silas is here. I think I would have slapped him and he would have died afterwards. Just because he used his hourglass there, if Silas wasn't there. Likely just a bot with different levels of play, and at 10 CF it's using Flawless Doom bot. This Silas really wanted to let me die. Really? By the way, congratulations is in order for me for my other channel because 10,000 subscribers this morning hit it. Games for Humans. Go check it out. I post interesting stuff about game dev on there. I think it's going to surpass Pokrick because I don't want to sound like I don't believe things or I don't believe in myself or whatever. It's not about that. It's just that League of Legends has a certain amount of certain reach you can have, especially as an OTP. So this channel, it's kind of unlikely that it's going to get 2 million or something. There we go. She's using all those buttons. Not really necessary though. Okay. Dark Heavens. Unlucky. Didn't really mean to join these team fights, but it is what it is sometimes. Especially if it's a party in the mid lane, right? What happened there? Didn't he use it on himself? It probably overlaid with the Cogmouse one, right? Cannon Toxic GG. Should we X9 Cannon? They don't want to finish the game for some reason. We can because they have given up, I think. What the F is that shield? Lucky, because this game started off pretty poorly in the lobby when people were flaming each other. Because of me, because I was the one that got autofilled. Okay, Claude, YouTube chat isn't working again. Something happened with it. Please fix it. He's probably going to do the thing where he dumps all of the messages at the same time, so brace yourselves. I found myself unsubbed to your Games for Humans channel. Man, that's so... Why? How is that possible? Whenever people say that, I don't believe it usually. So, let's talk about the hair. It does work, but it seems like the length quite fast it reaches the amount of 10 CS per minute. I feel like in the beginning of the match it should be sort of kind of lower. I don't know, what is the right formula here? Is it exponential maybe? Maybe it should be inverse exponential, meaning that in the beginning it's slower and then later it stops being, you know, that fast. Early in game, it shouldn't be weighted as heavily, yeah. Let's see what he comes up with. Yeah, unfortunately, YouTube is gone for this stream. It's gone, guys. What's the best current build for Yorick top? Somebody on YouTube says. AP. Easy. When do you play AP Yorick? Almost always when I'm top. I love to hear a Minecraft grass block talk about his grandmother's funeral. Yeah. Oh, I didn't mean that. I didn't miss that many messages. Claude saved the YouTube chat. He can't save it anymore. That's it. It's a goner now. Because there's this daily quota of API calls that YouTube doesn't allow to exceed 10,000. And if Claude exceeds it, it's over for that day. So unfortunately, you have to come to Twitch. So fortunately, you have to come to Twitch. So Tuna, what is going on with this? Why is it bugged like that? I'm pretty sure you are not, it's not the problem for you, right? Could I have a flashlight, by the way, when I press F? Hey, Claude, could you create a flashlight when I press F in my native app? It would be funny from the camera that I'm using to fly around. That would be kind of cool. So open the game in 2 tabs as it was bound with 1 zillion and set them there. Seems like the game is trying to reconcile the two. Oh yeah, they're just sitting and it's updating the positions. It still thinks of you as one of them, so you can be only one of them at the same time. Makes sense. Makes quite a lot of sense. Are you ready for some AP Yorick gameplay? At the top lane. Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, the YouTube quota is gone. It's a goner. It's a goner for today. Oh, it's gonna be kale. I would say I'm not afraid of kales. I eat kales for breakfast. It's a superfood. So, F you, kale. F you, kale. No offense, of course. I don't think I even need the Doran's shield, right? What if you reduced how often it worked with the YouTube API? Well, here's the thing. Claude Code has this thing called skills, right? And sometimes when you write a skill and you forget about it, it's going to become stale, meaning that you can change other things. And if the Claude Code invokes that skill, he's going to do something that he used to do. And I fixed the API calls. So past like 4 or 5 streams, it was all fine. But then he used that skill that was outdated. Long story short, he did it again. So it's effed today. Hopefully tomorrow it's not going to be effed. Okay. Let's jump into the match against Awakening. We do have that Awakening here in the top lane. Now, one thing I want to say is that whenever you see this press the attack, there's this weird window for her to just 1v1 you correctly, and you will lose. And that has happened many times to me, and I think it happened on stream, and I think I was a little bit embarrassed over there. But was I? Probably was. Probably was. Sometimes people, when you are especially young, when they say, oh, don't you ever be embarrassed, be confident. And it's, man, it's one of those things, right? It's one of those things. You can be confident and not embarrassed, but at the same time, if you're not embarrassed, you're kind of like an asshole a little bit, because, you know, why wouldn't you care what the tribe says about you, right? And if you don't care what the tribe says about you, you're like trying to not play the game. And if you're trying to not play the game, why are you in my team? You know what I mean? Why are you in my team? Okay, Kale, don't let me do this. Don't let me do this too much. I'm gonna buy that Leandry's Torment, and we're gonna see some poke action happening. There are two ways. Either I buy Leandry's and I poke her out of the lane and win that way, or I buy some tank items and I go proxy. What do you think, chat? What should I do? It's a little bit harder getting the tank items just because Viego... Whoops. Almost smacked her. Just because Viego is not AP. Ah, she did it. Both. Well, I can't have both. I have to do the, you know, it's gonna be too late if I do it too late. You know what I mean? With proxy alert for the scale. Yes, that's what I mean. If you buy Leandry... Oh, that's what you mean. You mean Leandry and proxy. So here's the reason why I give you an ultimatum. Because when I buy Leandry against Kale, I want to be that pressure cooker over here. I want to just hold her under the tower and just poke and poke and poke and poke. But if I go proxy, then, you know, I'm kind of working against my own build, you know. 28 CS on that Viego. Let's just count that. Sometimes whenever I look at the look at the tab, you can kind of see his CS, and you see, okay, 32, which means that he appeared on the map. It was probably over here somewhere, so he's coming. So sometimes that's the way you can track, but I haven't really learned to use it that way. I usually go the lethality build versus her. Ooh, he's coming. He do be coming. I never play with TP, the proxy, but you can definitely do the TP. Do it with TP. I'm just not... Okay, I'm gonna trick him. I'm tricking. There we go. You will stay here, my friend, because I have all the cards. And you don't. Stay one more time. One more time. Nope. Well, too much. Okay. Kind of a perfect ward, if you ask me. Whoops. I do need to get that level 6, otherwise she's going to dive me and I'm going to die. Oh, Lord. Don't get dove by Kale, mister. Won't, actually. It's all good. But yeah, I'm gonna get Leandries. Leandries, and especially if you get Rylai's, it just somehow counter scales so much because she needs that movement speed. I think she likes movement speed a lot and she doesn't like slow a lot. Man, she's struggling there. Oh, she almost died. Interesting. I can flash an E. But the problem is if I flash an E, she has R. And that R button is going to, you know. It's worth only if I can make her lose CS or something like that. Why did she get health there? Where did she get health? AP Yorick is 100% valid. 100% valid. That's my go-to build now. I think after the patch, it's going to be AP Yorick all the way. AP Yorick plus tank, sometimes Hydra. But up until this point, AP has done nothing yet. So don't you think that this game has any sort of like significance about AP yet? Oh, there he is. He knows she doesn't have enough health. Man, he knew that there's going to be a 1v2 over here. She's going to have to use her R just under tower. That's my opinion, I think. There we go. There we go. I feel like she's gonna type soon. Awakening. When I was like 17, I was obsessed with Awakening. I was listening to all kinds of spiritual guides about Awakening. And I wouldn't say I awoke. There was maybe a little bit of dawning in my mind about what is ego, human ego. Maybe helped me a little bit that way. Ooh. Okay, this is... I can't do it. She's gonna... my maiden's gonna die. Very unfortunate timing. Very unfortunate timing there. Very often people get obsessed with awakening later in their life. I somehow got obsessed with it early in my life, and then I started not giving a F later. But I think it's a real, completely real thing. It's to do with ego. There could be some magical aspect to it, which is kind of boring to talk about because I can't prove any of that. But the most interesting aspect is the ego aspect. The ego aspect of awakening. Which means that you kind of realize that, hey, ego really is like cycles of thought in your brain that just make you think that there's an actual somebody there, but there's actually not. I think it's kind of easy to prove that. There we go. She's getting poked pretty heavily this match. Enlightenment. Yeah, but they call it awakening too. Don't they? It's not like there's a huge book about it and it's the one book. People just don't give, they be inventing phrases left and right. You know what I should do? I should actually set up a proxy and TP to the proxy, use my infinite IQ to do that, and use my infinite IQ to do that, to kind of like make it even... Whoops, there he is. Oh, lordy. I need to avoid his stun. This is pretty bad. They're gonna do it. Oh, that's so... That is not fair at all. I could have... Man, if that Q lands... If that Q lands... I don't know, I typically hear it alongside Buddhism, which heavily focuses on ego. Maybe you're right that Buddhism uses the term enlightenment more than awakening. Maybe you're right. I think I will heavily, immediately focus on getting rallies. Don't you think Fated Ashes is better? I think if you do the math, Haunting Guys is better. But it's more expensive, so... I lost one, unfortunately. She might lose more. Depending on what a Viago does. This is either going to be easy or easy. Actually, it's not easy because the ghouls... Whoopsie daisies. No, it's going to be easy or hard. Well... The difficulty of the proxy scales very disproportionately. What's the name of the math function? Exponentially, with how much the enemy is ahead. So, you gotta be really careful. When I hear awakening, it's usually to do with truth behind conspiracies and such, like the Red Pill. Maybe you're right. I don't know. I'm just kind of... When I was reading about this stuff or listening to these teachers, they never used awakening in the form that you say. If today that's true, can't argue that it's not. Wouldn't you say Cyril is better than Rylai's? Nope. Well, if you get Leandri's first, Cyrildis doesn't increase your AP portion of damage, which is more than half. So it's a problem that it is like that. I would say I have lost the lane against her, so I can just try to invade or something. What is Maiden doing? Okay. I can just try to invade or something, or proxy, because it's a little bit, It's gonna be tough now. Or maybe it's even worse. I cannot even invade because both of them are winning. And I should just probably stay in lane and try to 1v2 them at some point. If that's, if that's even in the cards. Kale has a lot of trouble with the poke. If you keep hitting those E's. Unfortunately, if you miss the E's, then it's like she's gonna get some damage onto Maiden. You gotta be careful about that. But I have TP coming up, so it's gonna be easy. Maybe I'm just old and outdated. No, you sounded like... It sounded like I'm the old one and outdated one. Maiden, don't do that. A little bit of trouble there. A little bit of trouble there. She doesn't have enough mana to continue this, so I win. I usually never think of Kales as the ones who lose mana, but they do. Oopsie daisies, there you go. You wouldn't be able to do this with any other build. I guarantee you. She would just roll and roll and roll, especially with that Viego attention. Pff. It would be over before it begins. It's a little bit tough how many people are coming here. Not much I can do about any of that. Bum, bum, ba-dum, bum. Zach flying in. Not the best time to do that. Okay. Whoops. Man, there's a party in the top lane, and I'm not even in the mid lane. Kind of crazy to see Zach until 17 minutes. You know, it happens. He was probably, you know, I saw him 0-2 at some point, and I thought, man, well, yeah. Well played. Zyra should have known that she can't just flash over the wall like that. What if you turned your green hair into a green screen that projected Leandry's? It's pretty possible, but... It's pretty possible, I would say. But, I feel like it would look bad. I have to wait until Claude, restarts, and then I can start asking him that stuff. Okay. Okay. I think I should go for... Whoops. I was about to say I should go for a triple proxy. But now she's going to be forced to go back. And... Oh, no. It's actually another one here. There's... Whoa, excuse me, guys. Wasn't there the dragon? Wasn't there the dragon? I guess I'll take the dragon, but still kind of annoying. And we might even lose it. Well. Hello, Rach. Welcome. Something was just spinning at the bottom corner of the screen. Yeah, that's the Claude Roomba. Where is he? There he is. Just working there. That's that Claude Roomba. He doesn't have a purpose right now, but, you know, at least he's there. What's the lore of the green hair? It's green when the CS is high, but right now it's not really that high, and it's not really, it doesn't make too much sense. Yeah, it just doesn't make too much sense. It just doesn't work very well with the CS number. It's just that there's not a good way to grow it. So the CS fluctuates between something like, let's say, 7 and 10 usually. And if it fluctuates between 7 and 10, it means that I would have to, at 7, it should be 0 length of hair. And at 10, it should be, actually, this sounds about right. Maybe I should do that type of a range. So those are the ranges. Because right now, it's like the difference in the length of hair for the meaningful amount of change that usually happens in CS. Man, hard to explain. I think you get what I mean. The usual range of CS should be the one that is growing up and down. Okay. They are top a lot. Why are they top a lot? Okay. It should be red if it's lower than 5. There's definitely a logic to it that needs to be figured out. For example, in the beginning of the match, it doesn't even make sense for the hair to be growing or not growing at all. It could just be bald, right? Because it's in the beginning, it's like it doesn't mean much. But once you get in the stage of this, for example, right now I have something like 7 point something, right? And okay, that's not that high. So the hair should reflect that. It should be either low or bald or something like that. But again, the problem is that there needs to be some sort of a formula for this to work appropriately. After this match, I'll try to figure it out and explain it to you. Is he gonna suicide himself? Nope. Explain it to Claude so he can program that in. But I like the idea that the hair becomes green only when it's like over 10 or it's like really good. It should be like a little bit brownish when it's bad. Like when it's like this, it should be a little bit brownish, you know? It shouldn't be lush, you know? What if it's like a baby from 0-5 minutes, grows slowly, and then starts matching CS? But how is that like a baby? Okay. I'll take this, thank you. So it's 35 seconds. I unfortunately have to release Maiden like that, which is a little bit unsatisfactory, but it is what it is, because I actually woke up. I was awakened a little too late to the fact that a dragon is coming up, right? So... okay. What is going on there? Had to flash, I'm sorry. I can't really... whoa. They have vision of me? They do not? They do? Okay. Zach, man. Take that, Zach. Take that. Take that, Mr. Viego. I'll take all of that gold. Man.
Smash.
Zach is big mad. Don't mad it. Okay, I soon 10 CS man. Okay, that's a deeply troll thing to say, but he wasn't really a good player and he's typing, right? 0 impact. You don't need impact when you have 10 CS per minute. That's the impact that you're searching for, you know? Man, he doesn't understand your gameplay. That's fine. It's all good. I have hair. I think he deserves it, you know? I think he deserves it. Also, if you get camped like I did, it's fine to have 0 impact. It's part of the League of Legends universe. If you lose, you lose. I'm just happy we didn't lose the Okay. AP Yorick isn't really the best farmer, but if you focus, you can farm as well. No, it's like weird. It's a little bit weird. You can, when you release Maiden, you can farm, but you don't farm it as good as lethality when you kind of invade the jungle. It's kind of hard to explain. I don't even know how that works, but very often I have good CS numbers with AP as well, even though you kind of don't have damage. Okay. To farm. I don't get how he's typing. Yeah, he was kind of useless in the early game. I was doing my best, and you know, what happened. Those ganks happened. But I don't even know. You know, from my point of view, yeah, I wouldn't even say that he failed. I would say he failed in his own whatever, right? He was 0-2. But I wouldn't even flame him. I would think, okay, fine, whatever. But since he's typing, that's the time when we start to do that psychological warfare over there. He is going in here, but that's not good. It's not good going in there. He's actually suddenly strong. He is feeling his oats. It's not going to be good. He's going to die there, I think. Maybe he's smart. I don't know. Let me just recall real quick. Although, no. I have time to do some farming. I have time to do some farming. Actually, it depends on what the enemy is going to do. They can't catch us. There he is. There we go. Yorick can smell the simp from a mile away. From a mile away. Simp. Simp. Vandal pipes. Vandal pipes. Oh, whoa. What vandal pipes? Oh. Excuse me, guys. Not used to having Viegos fed. He's not even that fed, but yeah. Out-simped. Out-simped, man. I really don't want to buy Grievous Wounds because I already died. And it is very, very unlikely that I'm going to have a situation like this again. Obviously, if I didn't have 2800 in my bag, I would have won it. I would have won that fight, but it's already gone. I failed, I inted, that's it. So, Thornmail? Maybe, but probably not. Probably not. What if I just get this? Wait, or this? Can we have a bandlepipe sound that is just bagpipes? it would be hard to trigger it. The whole art is to get the event from the live game so that I could put a custom sound on it. But if I can't do that, okay. Since scale is top, I have to do something here. Okay, bandle pipes. Bandle pipes. They chasing me. Bandle pipes. Pool boy. Yorick smash. Do you think Viego ganked top because of Nami's nickname? Or do you think Zach avoided ganking top because of Nami's nickname? What happened there? What's going on here? I think we need to call Quinn to ask what's going on there. I don't know if we do this. Thoughts on bagpipes? That's the thing that Scottish people do, right? I like it. I imagine that sound in my mind now. That doo 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 doo. It's actually quite powerful. It's quite a powerful sound. I think this Vlad is gonna carry us. He's just too strong. Francisco Goya. This Vlad, bro. Yeah, exactly. Talking to himself. About himself in the third person. Bonus damage against female. Oh, you mean like they be doing that, you know, they be doing a little bit of that old school teaching? Is that a thing? For Scottish specifically? In Latvia, the situation is so dire about that in Eurovision we sent a lady who was singing about drunk father who was hitting his family. And, you know, it's a beautiful song. I liked it. I was moved by it. But sometimes I wish that Latvia would have more happiness, you know? And we wouldn't have to send that type of a song to Eurovision. Even though Eurovision sucks in general, but still, you know, that's the thing we do here. We don't really have anything else, so we fake. We don't have actual charts of music, like actual real charts of music industry, like, you know, what people like and stuff. So we have to fake it with Eurovision. It's fine, you know. It just is what it is. It is what it is. I think I need to recall real quick. Is Latvia one of the countries that escaped Soviet Union? Yes, back in 1990s, the Soviet Union was collapsing. In my opinion, because of epic levels of not understanding numbers. And yeah, all the Baltic countries, all the surrounding countries, they had the chance to kind of cut loose from themselves from the fat cat, which is what they did. My father actually went to the barricades. It was a very sort of a stressful time because nobody knew what's going on. Now it's kind of easy to say, oh, yes, of course, the Soviet Union was collapsing. So, oops, how do they let me escape like this? Come on. And of course it was collapsing. So of course you could do the barricades at the center of the city because they apparently were waiting for Soviet tanks or something. And my father went there, you know, and it was, you can read up about the barricades. It was pretty, again, they ended up not being too violent. But in those days, it took real courage to do something like that because you didn't know what's going to happen. Because when these big countries blow up, they usually... No, not usually. It's really unpredictable, you know. But there was no internet back then. Yeah. What do Latvians feel about their history with Sweden? I don't think we know about any history with Sweden. I just know that we think of them as the good guys. Oh, those up there, they know stuff, you know. How bad are Russians in Latvia? I would say in general, okay. But there's a sleeping portion of population who would just turn on into fighters. I would say like 20%, like my estimate, is that 20% of Russian population would pick up. You know, when the push comes to shove, they would fight against us. Maybe even 25, maybe even more, maybe even 30. I would say. That's just a little bit unfortunate, but it is what it is. I think the rest of the world just sees us as Russia. And if you look on... Oh, by the way, you can use the rank command. You can use the rank command if you want to see the rank. You don't have to use OPGG. You also can see the rank on the... Oops, tricked you. It actually shows you the CS per minute. Sorry, I had to do it. I thought of that yesterday, and I thought that's a way more interesting number, isn't it? So every time someone asks rank, it's going to calculate the CS average CS per minute for my last 10 games. So, boom, take that. And if you do it in game, it's going to calculate it in game. So. You know, I was focused on farming this stream, and I've won all games. You know? Man, I didn't know setting up PB was such a pain. Is it a pain? For me, it just... boom, you set it up and that's it. It just downloads everything naturally. Viego, for some reason, caught a penalty. I wonder why. What happened there? API call limit reached, yeah. He cannot fix it because it's on YouTube's end at this point because I've... Why don't you ever claim all the stuff from the free battle pass? How I always wanted to ask. It's because I don't use any of that. I don't even... Honestly, I don't even know what it is. I just don't use any of this stuff, and that's why I don't, you know, I don't even think about it that much. I don't even think about it that much. What if you calculate CS per 10 minutes instead of per 1 minute? That's no good. Vladimir is taking to himself in spite of Zach kept typing the Zach, and the Zach is dog shit. Rank 1989. Baltics fought for themselves. My granny got hit by a bazooka. Now, as funny as that sounds, it would be horrific in real life. But if I imagine it and there's no, if there's no victim, I think it's pretty funny. What are these bandle pipes doing here? How are you up high, by the way? I'm pretty sure you shouldn't be able to be up high. It's just lag, right? It's probably lag. Oh, there it is. Remember I asked him this? And it works. It's actually kind of creepy. It's kind of creepy. Right? When I'm looking at this, it feels like this should be turned into some kind of a communal game where you can do stuff that that kind of matters. You know, like, I don't know, we run around and this reminds me about those CS Counter-Strike Source, the zombie game, you know, where you would just survive. And you would build stuff and then survive from ghouls. What if something like that would happen? For example, these ghouls would just get unleashed and everybody would just like run around and it would be the zombie survival situation on stream. Okay. It's actually not rate limited. I don't know what that was, but yeah. There's gonna come a time where these problems are not gonna exist anymore. Don't you worry. It's all work in progress. Simon says, but the ghouls need to jump on the thing with the mist. I really like this flashlight. Ever since I added the floor, it seems like kind of a good I don't know, it seems like a good it really does give you the feeling that it's an actual place here, you know? And before then it didn't really. You know what? Let me try something different this match. Is it Vel'Koz? It's unfortunately Vel'Koz, yeah. Turn it into look at the screen office. That's actually a great marketing idea, yeah. Yeah, I might do that. And we all would be playing on the floor. And whenever you would zoom out, you would kind of... That's a great idea, man. Maybe the screen is the thing, you know, it on the screen. I actually don't know. What if it's... I have to figure it out. The problem, of course, a little bit is that... the problem a little bit is that I don't have the same... It's a totally different engine, so it's not gonna have the same anything. But it's a great idea, yeah, man. It's a great idea. It just makes sense. It just makes sense. Okay. I got a very important email just now, so I'm really happy. A very important email from a client, so This is how I sound when I'm happy, by the way. My project is a similar setup, but a fantasy castle locale, creating a stage, currently working on a screen capture to dedic. Man, please share what you come up with, and I will look at it, and if you want, I can look at it on stream. It doesn't matter. I'm just really interested in other people doing what I'm doing, because it's kind of, in a sense, it's a little bit lonely, because not too many people do these kind of VTuber, farm tuber, farming, farming things. Very old account is back after 1 year ban. Why did you get banned, man? Disco Pokrick. Man, Vel'Koz is a tough opponent, and I was worried that he's gonna be against me here. Can I smack these? Does it even matter for me to hit them, or is it I'm just gonna lose health on them? I feel like it's a bait to hit them. I remember you saying that you got banned. I've never been banned except once when I played Braum and went 0-12 because my teammates banned Yorick. Now, why was it possible back in the day to ban something that your teammate hovers is beyond me. That's like levels of crime up there with the you know how people look back at slave owners of the United States and they kind of apply today's standards to them, which is unfair, but, you know, I understand it. I think that's the level of crime. The fact that you were able to ban your teammates' hover. That's the same thing. If there's a statue of a Riot employee and you know, 20 years from now, people are going to think, do you know what he actually did? He allowed them to ban your teammates' hovers. So let's pull down that statue. Okay. Careful, 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 Mr. Pokrick. I wonder if I should buy Bramble Vest immediately. Thirsty. Too thirsty. Just saying all nations had slaves. I understand. Pfft. You're talking to the guy who thinks that United States slave owners were the most progressive ones of all time. No, not really the slave owners themselves, but when Christopher Columbus was kind of conquering the world, he was the most progressive conqueror of all because, well, I know it's a grim idea, but if you had to kind of like, if you had to pick who's gonna conquer you, you should have picked them because all the other choices were way more horrific. So, you know, for those days' standards, they were saints. And I don't, you know, I don't know why people don't, you know, kind of talk about that more. They were saints. They were. I guess they do talk about that. Oh no, oh no, oh no. I'm waiting here way too long. But that's kind of like being the best at ritual battle. Yeah, it's impressive, but I'd rather walk. Is that... I don't understand. I don't get to your point fully. Christopher Columbus thought USA was India. It's all good. You know, it's just a basic mistake. I don't remember what Vikings thought USA was, but they definitely thought it was also something else. There was this story about them failing to settle on United States, on the, you know, America's continent, because they were constantly being attacked by Native Americans. And they just couldn't adapt because they were trying to do them. I don't know what this means, but he said, what did he say? That there was a word, like a very weird word, that meant like farming pigs or something. And the historian kept using it, and I thought, what does he mean by that? It's such a weird word. But yeah, Vikings actually, they failed to adapt. And no one tells this story. Native Americans just attacked Vikings. I understand that they invaded, right? But still, you know, if you don't believe in private property, why are you immediately attacking somebody who landed on your shore? So it turns out that you do think, you know what? Native Americans probably believed in private property so much that they thought that as far as it go, it mine. Because there's no other explanation to why they were attacking the Vikings when they landed, right? So that's actually a pretty funny, triggering concept. Which is probably true. You know, you don't get those that often. It's like he was good conqueror for conqueror, but conqueror still was evil. Sorry for butchering your sentence, but I in my mind I read it right. No, I get it, but I get what you're saying. But what you're saying is like the everybody knows that war is bad. I guess everybody knows. But you have to look at it in relative terms, you know. So it doesn't make much. It doesn't give you much information to say this bad, so that person bad. It always has to be relative. Relative to what? Okay. Did you notice how Nafiri immediately lost the lane once I bought this? Hey guys! The ghouls decided to... I was 100% sure that Maiden's gonna interrupt him, but did you see that shield that happened from... You know, the ghouls just got taunted by that pup. Spectator ghouls. They actually weren't spectator, they were attacking the pup. I think I need to bail out this lane. Can I even do that? I don't think I can. The concept of ownership was likely there, just a tribe, not the individual. I fought over that as well. I'm being a little bit hyperbolic to say that they believed that they owned everything, but I feel like they might have believed that they owned everything, because there's no other way for them to believe that anyone else who sets foot on the shore is to be attacked. There's no way you do that if you don't believe that everything around this huge, insanely huge continent belongs to you. So the fact that people think that Native Americans didn't believe in property is just, it's just such a childlike fantasy that I don't know. Did it come from Hollywood or something? You know, what's going on there? I think he's dead. There's no way I can help with that, especially with that Nasus there. Man, my bad. My bad, Amomo. It's because I was too focused on talking about Vikings instead of backing. That's what happens. If we lose this match, remember that. Remember that. The noble savage. I've heard that term somewhere. Is that a thing that people think and know? Natives even fought each other. It's not even about the group, you know, natives or you know, in Australia or America. It's just the way humans do things. And to say that there's this specific group that was holy, it's almost impossible. It's almost impossible. One thing that comes to my mind who was like that is when I was listening to this documentary about Vikings, they talked about Vikings conquering all kinds of these islands above England. And a lot of these islands, for some reason, had these holy monks who just went away from the England into these islands to just be away from civilization for spiritual purposes. And now those guys, yeah, those guys might have been the ones who just cared about, I don't know, the church and nothing else. They just built it. Now, I'm not talking about the church that kind of conquered land. I'm talking about those guys specifically who did that, because it sounded so weird to abandon everything. Just go to... Because the story was that there were apparently some islands which were like really uninhabitable, and they picked those specifically to be away. And spoiler alert, Vikings landed there and killed everybody. But itty what itty, you know. Itty what itty. All of us had primitive ancestors who were morally different from us today. Oh man, Amamu just working and working his ass off, and we just can't protect him. We just can't do anything. If you lose this match, ban that guy. Which guy? Commonly pushed narrative, noble savage. Okay. It's kind of easy playing against this champion with Thornmail. Somebody was laughing at me for picking Thornmail. But it was super easy. An easy win. Oh, I think it was Garen who laughed at me. He was typing that when he gets Black Cleaver, there's going to be like 55% reduction or something because of his abilities. And he was saying that, oh, you better, you know, how about that 50, you know, you're going to go from 200 to 80 or something. And he just couldn't win the 1v1 anyway. That's one thing about, funny thing about Black Cleaver is that it never counters armor, really. It counters armor when you have it like low, I think. But when you have a lot of it, it just doesn't counter it. My ancestors were Irish, somebody says. But that's as far as I read that comment, so... Nafiri doesn't seem to have the cards. Yeah, she doesn't. She actually bought some cards, but I don't think those cards are going to do anything except roam. She's ready for it, man. The same thing happened. I didn't go back, and she all-in'd me. Actually, I shouldn't have even flashed. It seems like... Tuna, she got the cards, but the cards didn't show up. The cards just fell out of her pocket. Just saying, you got some green hair in your eyes. Yeah, that's because the CS numbers are good. They had a tradition when they lost. That's as far as I got into your comment. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have another stab at it soon. Since there's a cannon, I don't need to stay here. They're gonna get the plate anyway. Had a tradition where if you lost a political fight for being king, you then cut your nipples and killed you. They found a bunch of nipple-less dudes in the swamps. So they would kill you after cutting the nipples, or they cut them off and then they would let you live? Because that would be a, you know, just a little bit of that nipple-less existence. Maybe they believe that, you know, why do men have nipples anyway? Biology, what you doing? That's an interesting thing. You know, very often I wonder about that, but then I think of something else. Poker, bring back the old avatar, please. This one is just bad. I'm sorry, man. There's no way. There's nothing to bring back. It's my real face. It's gonna come out at some point, but, you know. What did he? How would you know it was cold if you lost these? Yeah, you wouldn't. Nafiri, you do not have the cards. The shopkeeper diff is insane this match. She can't even get past the little shield. Man, it's so bad that I didn't get hit by the tower. Yeah, I should have gotten hit by the tower. It was so lucky that it didn't push her. The wall should have done it. The wall should have done it. Triggered the aggro. Very unlucky. It was kind of my bad, but Atrax, I'm sorry. I just... Whoops. That's not armor. That's not armor. Okay, Maiden, if you survive, I'll take all of that. Yeah, the wall didn't do it because she jumped in the air, right? Who wins, dogs or children? Children, yeah. It just grows to become a map cover. But Spartan, the real answer is there's no future in the old avatar. Because I cannot change, I can't make it interactive in any way. I can just silently make it be and continue paying 85 euros a month for Adobe for no reason. And, you know, it's a little bit sad when your whole existence is predicated on paying a company for basically not innovating at all. Something's happening with this Nasus here. Something's happening there. I don't like it. Oh, he has bought the item. It means that I win the 1v1. But I win it anyway because he's... Does he... Oops, he does have flash. That slow is funny from his point of view. Not from mine. There's a setup that will do the live 2D. I don't know. There was a very specific setup there. There was a very specific setup there. But this guy's pretty fed. Oh, he's building lethality. Guys. Guys. The dog is feeling his oats. Unfortunately, we do have problems in many places on the map. Not just there. But I am pretty excited to play against the lethality Nasus, actually. Well, I believe he cannot win. I believe he's just trolling, so... I'm going to wait for that 1300 and then we're going to try to fight him. Azap flashing away. Gotta be careful because he's farming on the ghouls now. While this is happening. Okay. Well, He is a little bit stronger than I thought, but we'll see what happens once I have that item, you know? He is a little bit stronger than I thought, though. We'll see. Partenonas? Okay. He lethal, yeah. He lethal. Man, Brax, that's such a fun idea to turn this scene into my room from look at the screen. It's a very good idea. I like it. That's such a marketing ploy as well, right? Don't do it, guys.
Farm is life.
Oh.
Farm is goal.
Okay. That's, by the way, a message when farm exceeds 10 CS per minute. He says farm is life, farm is goal. Nasus might TP, so... Is there anything that counters him more? How often does Claude update your hair? Claude doesn't update the hair. That's an actual algorithm that does it. Claude only codes it. Okay. He might actually win the 1v1 here. He would have won it, you know. I think I might have underestimated how strong Nasus lethality is, so I apologize about that. But he ends up inting, of course, because he is lethality. Did you get to test the revamped items on PT server? Public test server, yes. But not too much, because it's really, really hard getting a match. Really crazy.
Farm is life. Farm is goal.
Yeah. True. I think the first... Whoops. Man, it's so sad that I actually... Sorry, man. Pretty thirsty. One of the saddest displays of Pantheon that I've seen this match. And all of that thanks to that number. What are we doing here? One Nasus to rule them all. He actually did do it. No. You know, I have to say I apologize that I said bad things about Nasus lethality. It turns out he is pretty strong. Yeah, Voltaic is going to be interesting. Definitely. By the way, what is the difference between these blue icon, for example, DJ Love, and Tuna has not a blue one, but a pink star? What is the difference between those? So Brax has both of them. So, okay, so one is prime, I know that, but what is a star? There she is. But she's alone with Pantheon, so I think I should win the 1v1. We'll see. I'll bait them to fight me. Because I feel like I will win the 1v2, excuse me. Not 1. He's probably in there somewhere. Probably in there somewhere. Maiden, please walk normally. There he is. I need to extend this fight as much as I can within the jungle so I can win it. Because otherwise I won't. Okay, the children's getting that Nafiri. She's probably gonna... Nope. Maiden's gonna get that tower. I don't have to worry about that, I would say.
Carpo_NYC says, W father.
Such a nice message. Thank you, my friend. I don't know why that W father sounded so good. There's such a heart, like warm thing, W father. So yeah, thanks. Thanks for becoming, I guess you became a member, right? No, become a subscriber? Yeah, you became a subscriber. Welcome to the family. Or continue being in the family. Why did Jinx die over there? What's going on? Are people just relaxed because it's the end of ranked? What item you building? I don't know. I'm actually random. I feel like maybe... I feel like I should get Leandry's. But the problem is this guy. I can't fight him. He seems just sorry about saying that. Whoops. Sorry for saying that he's weak, because he's just not. Oh no. Did you see what Vel'Koz did there? Azap, what are you doing? I've never seen Azap do that. He got away. Interesting. Very nice. This is a fun match, I gotta say. This is like a very, very neck and neck, you know? Man, I've been in your family for 3 years now. I say family specifically when you're a subscriber on Twitch. Aatrox, where did you go? Have I said thank you once? No, but I will soon. Thank you. Who did that? Who did that? Hey, YouTube is working, so it wasn't the API after all. It wasn't the API after all. Okay. This match is very interesting to me because of how easy it was to counter the Nafiri mid. As soon as I bought a little bit of armor, it was over. Imagine how funny that is, that that's the case in League of Legends. You buy a tiny bit of armor, and that's it. There's no way she wins the 1v1. There's just, it's over. It's impossible. Oh god. I can escape him, I think. But I have to be very careful. Not to take too much. No. What are we talking about here? Actually, we're talking a lot. Is he gonna flash? He could. Let me trigger that. Just so he does a little bit of damage to him. You know what? Let's mix it up over here with that Rylai's for no reason. Oh, it's perfect. You said rank and it showed my CS per minute. Perfect. That's it. That's exactly what that's exactly what I wanted. How many layers was the art for your real face? A lot. Smiles, all kinds of things. I don't know. I think the thing that I'm most afraid of not being able to recreate is the animation itself, because there was this pinned puppet warp type animation was happening with layers, and I don't know if that's gonna work. If that can work. Smack. Sorry, Nasus. This time the APB poppin'. I think we snatched a victory out of the jaws of defeat somehow.
This is macrolicious.
Farm is life. Farm is goal.
Yeah. If you say rank now, it's going to be above 10 CS. Unfortunately, can't do that. 9.9. That's a bit sad. How am I getting these plates? I didn't even know I had released ghouls there, so... you know?
Smash.
Is it possible to solo Baron? I don't think it is. It might be, but it's so risky and it's so lengthy that you will probably int if you do that. Okay, I'm gonna release Maiden, but oh god, they fightin'. They fightin' here. Let me catch this guy off guard. You know what? Somehow Fiddlesticks died. But you don't have the cards, man. You can't deal with that ghoul. That's it, bro. That's it, bro. Actually, he could ult me and I might die. Realize diff. Realize diff, Velkos.
Farm is life. Farm is goal.
Leandries plus plus this. This is actually a great match. An interesting match. Nothing really that special happened, but from my point of view, it was interesting. It still is. I'm taking this just for ghouls, man. So don't take it as flame. I'm stacking these both, which is a problem. You shouldn't do that. It would be cool if they actually stacked, you know? If they actually stacked. What is going on there? Okay. I need Maiden. I don't have Maiden, so I'm not even gonna go there. This is actually the thing that's gonna make or break the match. I don't have Maiden. I can't do anything, guys. I gotta do what Yorick gotta do. Nafiri is recalling. Does it finish? Yes, it does. Velko's killing everybody. Kind of unfortunate. I wonder if they're recalling. One guy is. We lost the 4v4, which is very, very tough for us now.
What's going on here?
You always dodge towards him. Whoops. Well, at least we didn't lose the match outright when we lost. We died here. This might be the last match, but maybe not. We'll see. Please, no more PvP. It wasn't really PvP. I was pushing. Why isn't the rank command working? Does it not work in Twitch or something? Might actually not work in Twitch. He's choosing who can do it or not. Racist against tuna. A little bit of that Catrick scratching over there. There she is. Maybe Maiden baits. Because with Maiden I will definitely win the 1v1. Or 2v1 if you will. I actually don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I feel like Vel'Koz is coming or something. What are you doing, Nefiri? It was clear that this is going to happen. You can't even flash out of this. Actually, you kind of maybe can. What? Okay, today I learned. I thought that's in the bag. I really thought it's in the bag. Round 2. Okay, so people are probably recalling, which means that they will get Nasus. I think Vel'Koz is recalling. Man, they should have gotten Nasus. His rank is going to be 0 in 2 days anyway. Yeah. Rank is not life, but farm is life. Where's that Vel'Koz? Okay. Challenger push. What is better, Challenger or 12 CS per minute? I might die. I don't know if they chose to come here. Simple macro. I release Maiden, go to Dragon, that's it. It would be really cool if I didn't die here now, because I don't see anybody except Nasus. It's really important that I don't die, okay? Okay, so this is the most interesting point of the match. Maiden pushing. I'm going mid. I'm ending through mid or top. No matter what. No matter what. My hair is long. The grass is green. The grass is always greener. Oh, careful now, careful. They could catch me here. Okay, Velko's mid. My job here is done. So if they stall the Drake enough... Oh, Lord. No, 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 no. I could die. Lord. Well, we should get the Drake now, right? I don't think it's enough time, though, but it could be. It could be. Well. It was. I was right. This was the most interesting point of the match, right? Is this build better than AD Bruiser? Yes. Who's looking after your Goulette at the moment? The wife. The wife. But yeah, thanks for watching this, and I'll see you tomorrow. Same time. Same time. Gotta go work on the game. Gotta go call my client about some website stuff. Was pretty fun. Felt a little bit, you know. Oh, look. Wow, okay. This is the last time I say that Nasus lethality is bad. That's a... Those are some numbers. Those are some numbers, right? I like it now. My brother is gonna have a word about this. Check healing. See the numbers. Check the healing on Nasus, right? Damage healed 44. It's quite a lot. Nice Nasus gameplay, actually, but he was 4-0 in the beginning, right? So it's like a outlier situation that usually doesn't happen. I gotta screenshot this and send this to my brother because he's gonna let's see what he says later. Okay, in any case, thanks for the subscribers. Thanks for trying out this Bandle Pipes thing. Thanks for Claude to creating this flashlight effect. And, you know, see you tomorrow. Thank you, Mr. Claude. Mr. Robot. Yeah. Again, thanks for watching this, and I'll see you next time. Who is sleep deprived? Who is that? It's Pantheon. Was he AFK or something? Oh, disruptive chat. Okay, again, thanks for watching this, and I'll see you next time, my friends. I'll see you next time.